Okay, so in this we're going to clear up two definitions of angles. We have complementary and supplementary. And these angles come up a lot when we're talking about angle pairs, or when we're trying to solve for one angle and we have another, because all these two terms mean is that when you have supplementary angles or complementary angles, these angles add up to a certain number. So supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees, while complementary angles add up to 90 degrees. Now there are different ways to try and remember this. I think about the alphabet where C comes before S. This has always worked for me. So since C comes before S, it's smaller, right? It has a smaller amount. It hasn't built its way up to S yet. So C has to have the 90 degree measurement. So complementary are 90 degrees, whereas supplementary are 180. And sometimes people look at the S and think straight. That doesn't really help me as much. But any approach you can take to remember this, and it really helps, because what you start to get are these problems with a bunch of different angles, and you're looking at a bunch of different situations, and you got to find where are your complementary and supplementary angles. Well, here, let me add one more line. Here, the complementary angles could be, right, here's a 90 degree angle. Actually, let me get a new diagram. Let's start with complementary. So if I have this grid right here, and I'm saying, oh, well, this is 90 degrees. Okay. So then when you draw angles, right, that cut up this section right here of 90 degrees, those angles are complementary to each other. So angle 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. If I add up angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 plus angle 4, I get 90 degrees, which means these angles are complementary. Now angle 1 and 2 alone are not complementary. They don't add to 90 degrees. It's only whatever group you're given, the angles that add up to 90 degrees. That's what complementary angles are all about. Whereas supplementary, those angles are all about, straight lines. So if I have a line right here, a line has 180 degrees. If I start here and I rotate over here, that's a 180 degree rotation. Supplementary angles look at this idea. They take a straight line and then they just cut it up. And here we have a lot of different angles to look at. Let's look at the 3 on the top. 1, or the 4 on the top. 2, 3, and 4. Now here, these 4 angles make up a straight line. So the sum of those angles, all of them, because it takes all of them to make the straight line, are supplementary, because they add up to 180 degrees. And that's just, that's the idea of these two words, complementary and supplementary. Hope it helped.